I need coffee. Oh yeah, that's better. This guy over here. Get comfy. I have a lot to update you guys on, but hello and welcome if you're new here. My name is Carly. I'm a labor and postpartum doula, and I create content all about pregnancy and labor and motherhood and pretty much everything in between. And I have so much to update you on. Before we jump into all the details and all the nitty gritty, one of the things that I'm announcing in this video is that I am starting a newsletter. I have decided to do that for a couple of reasons that I'm going to get into in the video. If you're somebody who is interested in staying in touch with me and seeing a first look at our new house, I haven't shared it yet, and I'm sharing it exclusively with my newsletter community first and foremost. When you sign up, it will be the first one to come to you. A look at the property that we purchased and our intentions behind it. There's an exclusive video for you in that newsletter. So if it's something that you're interested in seeing, I will have a link for the newsletter down below. You can sign up and confirm your subscription, and that email will come out to you so that you can see our new home and our new property. And like I said, I'm going to share a little bit more about why I'm starting the newsletter here in a couple of minutes. If you follow me over on Instagram, then you're probably a little bit more up to date than if you don't. So if you don't, go and follow me on Instagram. But I shared with you guys on Instagram that my husband, Drew, he has been in grad school for the last 2 years. We're currently located in North Carolina, in central North Carolina, and we decided when he started grad school that we wanted to move. It was still like within our hearts and on our minds to move soon. So we decided we would wait until after he got done with school and then reevaluate what we wanted to do, because we really do love it here in North Carolina. I am born and bred in North Carolina. I've been here my entire life, and it's very insane to me that we are leaving. Drew is originally from the New England area. He's from Connecticut. And when we were thinking about where we wanted to live, we had like a list of criteria that we were thinking about. So first and foremost, we wanted to move somewhere that isn't as hot as North Carolina. We both really love the cold, like deep cold, snowy weather is both of our favorites, and North Carolina just isn't that. There are places in North Carolina, like Western North Carolina, that get pretty cold, but the job opportunities are just fewer there. So we had talked about potentially targeting Western North Carolina, but the other thing that we were thinking about is that we wanted to be closer to our family. In North Carolina, my family has all moved away, even though we all used to live here. I'm the only one left. So my family is scattered about all over. Andrew's family is obviously still in New England. So we were hoping to move closer to both of our families, either closer in proximity, because right now we're over 13 hours away to both sets of families. So we wanted to be closer to at least one set of family. We wanted to find a place that aligned with our views on, different state policies and how they treat their families and how they focus on agriculture and how they support local businesses. And generally, we don't really align with the policies and politics of North Carolina, which is really difficult and unfortunate. Having lived here my whole life, it's very hard to love a place so much and also disagree with so much of, what the state does on a political level. So we were hoping to find a place that just aligned with our beliefs more, and somewhere that we could flourish more, a place with really great school systems, and a place that we can spend a lot more of our time outside with great, hiking and sceneries, and the ability to take our kids outside more was really, 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 really important to us. And we also wanted to find a place where we could have land. For years and years now, we have talked about what our ideal life looks like, what our goals are, what we want to achieve, what kinds of parents we want to be, what kind of family environment we want to raise our kids in. And it just became more increasingly obvious to us that that life just isn't where we are right now. We're really, really happy here, and we would be happy here for 5-10 years 15 years even. Like, we could stay here the rest of our lives, but it isn't, you know, you have this idea of what you think you want your life to look like and the type of environment you want your kids to grow up in, and just the things that really like set your soul on fire. And we wanted to take this opportunity to seek that out and see if it was going to be an option for us. And we have been basically saying this phrase to ourselves over and over for the last like 6 months. And I think it has carried us through all of the uncertainty and questions that have come up. And it is a very simple phrase, and it is just that if it's for us, then it's already ours. And we have just kind of followed the path that has been set out for us. And basically, if things were working out, then it felt like it was meant to be. So, long story short, Drew was still in his graduate program. He hadn't even graduated yet, and he was starting to apply to jobs and just kind of see, you know, what was out there. And he applied to a couple of different jobs in a couple of different places, and we had kind of narrowed down our list of different spots that we were interested in being in different states, different cities within those states. And we had our hearts set on one in particular, and he had applied to a couple of jobs, and I think we would have been happy with any of those places, but there was this one job in particular that we were both just like, wow, this one's perfect. Like, this is exactly what we're looking for. It's in, you know, Drew's industry is very specific. He just works in a very niche industry, and so to find the right position in the right town and the right state seemed like, you know, it would take a while. So we were kind of prepared for him to, you know, be looking for a job kind of for months after he graduated. So while he was still in school, he had applied, and he got an interview with this one job, and we were like, what? It was just crazy. It was a very, very exciting moment to be like, as soon as he got a request for the interview, in my mind, it was like, well, like, this is already done. We are already going. We're already moving. I already know it's happening. And it just felt like it was meant to be, and I felt like it was right, and he felt the same way. And it was just every step after the step, it just all really lined up beautifully. And he ended up, after, you know, a couple rounds of interviews, ended up getting the job offer. And it is exactly the type of work that he was looking for. And with all that said, we're going to be relocating to Vermont, and we are so excited. Whenever he got the call, we were both just like beside ourselves.
We're going to get to do it.
Oh my gosh! Vermont, baby. Vermont, baby. And so from that moment, we, you know, started to haul ass on trying to figure out our next move and how we were going to get there. Because if you're not familiar with Vermont, which I don't know if you are, if any of you live in Vermont, if any of you already watch my channel and live in Vermont, leave me a comment and let me know. We're very excited to be joining the state. I have gotten the vibe from everyone who I've talked to. I've joined like the Vermont Moms Facebook group, and there are a lot of people moving to Vermont, and there are a lot of people who are originally from Vermont who are like, who have never left. People who go to Vermont tend to stay in Vermont is kind of the vibe. So if you're from Vermont, or if you've moved to Vermont, leave me a comment and let me know. I'm very excited. The rental market in Vermont is very slim. There is not a lot of opportunity for rentals whatsoever. We found that out very quickly. The pricing for rentals is just insane, and the availability is extremely limited. And overall, it became very clear that renting wasn't even really an option for the state. And especially the place that we need to be. The rental market is just incredibly limited. So we sought out to buy a house. We have been on the hunt for a house. We were looking at real estate all while he was interviewing, just to kind of get a feel for what the real estate market is like there. And just like everywhere else in the world right now, the real estate market is just insane. It's truly, truly crazy. We ended up putting an offer on a house whenever we found out that Drew got the job. I think it was maybe 5 days later we put an offer on a house. And we got bid out on that offer, so that offer didn't work out. But we have had 3 other houses come up that we really, really love. One house, it came up a week ago and they were doing delayed showings, so we were like very ready to see that house today. And then another house had bid on the market, but it was doing delayed showings as well. And then last night, our dream house came up. Like, the exact house and the exact location with everything that we could possibly want, and it came up last night and it brought me to my knees and we're in love. So we just did everything we're doing is virtual because obviously we're in a different state. Right now we are kind of deciding if we're going to put an offer in, not really if, we're pretty sure we're going to, and just kind of what our offer is going to look like. So I'm running some numbers right now and just like going over our budget to make sure that, we make a good decision, and comparing the 3 properties. They're 3 very, very different properties. They're all great. We would be happy in any of these houses, and we'll be grateful, frankly, just to get a house in a market like this. We do have a very clear favorite. I have been wanting to share about this for so long, but if you have been trying to buy a house in this market, you know exactly how crazy it is, and I didn't want to speak a word of what we were doing until everything was done, because I was not going to jinx anything. I was not going to, get too excited before everything was totally done. Honestly, up until the last day before closing, I was still like not totally convinced that we were going to close on the house. So I just wanted to not say anything about it until it was all done, and everything is totally done. We have officially closed on the house and it is ours. We are homeowners now, which is insane. And I want to share so much more about our new home and share it with you guys, which kind of leads me to my next point. So over the next month or so, we're going to be relocating to a new state with 2 kids and a dog, and a lot is going on. And I personally have been struggling a lot with feeling like I am able to manage everything. Drew has already started working full time, so that's a huge shift for our family. Since we've had kids, he's pretty much had a very flexible schedule. And so we've been able to juggle things very evenly. And now our shifts are changing a lot. The dynamics are shifting. And so he's working full time and I'm taking care of the kids full time, which is a big change. So I've had to reevaluate what I'm going to be able to accomplish in the next month to 2 months while we're moving, because I'll be in charge of not only the children, but also handling basically the entire move because Drew is going to be working. And I have been struggling. I feel like I am having a tough time staying present in the day-to-day with my children and with like my role as a parent and with my role as a creator on YouTube and just connecting with you guys, and especially like on Instagram. So I am setting the intention of being much more present in the day-to-day because we have a lot to accomplish. We are ending a huge chapter of our lives. This has been such a special time for us, and even though we're so excited about the move, there's so many emotions that come up when you're changing your life like this, when you're making a big step and taking a huge leap of faith, moving to a place that neither one of us have ever lived. We've never even seen the house that we bought, which is insane. We bought it from North Carolina. We've never been in the space where we're moving, and it's just a big change for not only us but for our kids too. Wilder is old enough to know what's going on around him and to know there's a big change on the way, and it's just a lot to manage. And it's my priority over the next month to 2 months to really be as present for my family as much as I can be. So with that said, what I'm going to be doing, because for my own mental health, I've been really struggling with not feeling overwhelmed and anxious and just able to process emotions. It's brought up a lot for me, especially in taking care of kids, because you just want to be like, don't you understand everything that's going on? Don't you get what's happening here? But of course they don't, because they're little kids. And your baby still is going to wake up in the middle of the night crying and still need you all day, and they're still growing teeth even though you're moving 13 states away. The kids don't care. And so my intention is to delete all of my social media for the next month, because frankly, it's just too much to manage during the day. I have a lot of other things that I have to pay attention to over the next month. And so I'm gonna be deleting everything off my phone, but I still want to stay connected with you guys. So I'm really excited to have a new way to stay in touch with me if you're interested in kind of keeping up and seeing what we're up to and what we're doing over the next month or 2 months. I have started a newsletter, kind of a direct to your inbox way of staying connected to us, where I'm going to be sharing kind of exclusive videos and exclusive posts and insights into our new space and into our new house and projects that we're working on, and just a much more like intimate setting, because sometimes social media can just be incredibly overwhelming, and to share everything with everyone, anybody who's looking, I really only want to share with the folks who want to stay in touch, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on over the next month to 2 months, and really just pouring myself into that and connecting with you there. So if you're somebody who is interested in doing that, I will have a link for it down below. You can sign up for my newsletter there, and expect to hear from me every week to 2 weeks, and just kind of seeing what we're up to, like I said, with some exclusive posts, exclusive videos, and a little bit of a deeper insight into what's going on. Whenever you sign up, the first newsletter that you get will be a first look into our new house. I haven't shared it publicly, but I do want to share it with my newsletter folks. I made a video walking through the entire house. I only have photos, but I can show it to you that way, and explaining kind of our process of buying and everything that happened and kind of our plans for the house and just all of those really fun details. So if that's something you're interested in, like I said, the link will be down below for you. And outside of that, I will be continuing to upload here on YouTube and keep focused on my content there. I always like making videos, but I'll definitely be sharing more like moving vlogs and just day in the life type stuff over the next few weeks. So if there's anything specific that you guys want to see, leave me a comment down below and let me know, because that is where I'm going to be connecting with you more so, because I won't have Instagram, I won't have YouTube on my phone anymore, and I'll just be kind of removing everything from my phone, because I know you guys can relate. I think everybody goes through this at one point or another, probably more frequently than we need to, that social media can just be really heavy on us sometimes. So I think you guys understand, and I know that if you want to continue connecting, that you will find a lot of value in my newsletter and seeing videos there. And it just feels like a safer, more controlled boundary space to create content in, and I'm very, very, very excited about it. So like I said, link down below. Please sign up. I would love to stay connected with you that way. And yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video. I am so happy to be sharing this news with you. I know it's just been a lot of craziness going on and a lot of craziness to come, but thank you guys for sticking with me. And if you're new here, I would love to have you as a part of this empowering community, so please consider hitting that subscribe button. Lots more to come. Especially, I have intentions to share a lot more of our new home with you, and so if that's the kind of stuff that you're into, if you're into a little bit of like a homesteading situation, then you might enjoy some content here to come. But I think that's everything I need to update you guys on, but thanks for hanging out with me today, and I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye.